Hey everybody, Anthony here from XXX Garage, back with another video. Now I know in my past videos I showed you fixing, I showed you modding. Well, this one's going to be showing you braking. And what I mean by that is, the truck I have sitting here in front of me is the GEN7 by Red Cat. Now, I know you guys are going to be going, oh, well, it's a Red Cat, they brake. Well, I got news for you. I've got other crawlers too. They all brake. I mean, I've got the SCX10. We got the SCX10 too. I also have the TRX4 and so forth. But what I'm coming to you guys about is, if you haven't learned this already, if you own one, I really do think that the GEN7 is an awesome crawler for the price. Now, you saw the other videos where I upgraded the transmission and did, put the metal gears. Now, that's pretty much all the upgrade I really did to it. I think that I even still have the original servo. I decided to look at the ESC that was in here, and it says it's 3-cell capable. So guess what I did? I put a 3-cell battery in it, and 3S for you guys, and it ran great. So I let my daughter play with it. I actually gave her the truck to use, and well, anyway, she was driving it across a field. She wasn't crawling, right? Just going across the field. And that thing was hauling butt. It was doing great. Well, I guess she did a sharp turn or whatever, and it flipped, or something reason it flipped. Well, my 11-year-old yelled at my daughter and said, "Hey, your back wheels are falling off." So I told her to pick it up and bring it to me. While she was bringing it to me, the back tires literally were dangling like this, like a bent barbell. I'm like, what? What happened was, the axle's still in here. This is what's left of the axle. It broke off, and the rest of it is still in the housing. I haven't taken it apart yet because I went to my local RC store, which is Awesome RC Cars, and he usually carries a lot of Red Cat parts. Well, this particular one, he only had the front steering axles. He didn't have the rear, so they should be in here in a couple days, and I will do a video on that as well. This truck came ready to run with the batteries. What batteries did it have? It wasn't even a LiPo battery. But we're allowed to go LiPo, but we should only stay at 2S, and the only reason is because apparently the rear axle can't handle it. Well, why can't the rear axle handle it? Well, I would say it's because I went to all metal transmission gears. Else, I did it with my SCX10. I changed out one part, went heavy duty. The next one in line broke. Changed that one out heavy duty. The next thing broke. So, just to let you know, I know a lot of guys, there's haters for Red Cat, and there's haters for SCX10s, and there's haters for TRX4s. I will tell you, they all do break. Where you saw the video with the red Jeep in it, and there was TRX4s there. In fact, I actually I let my daughter use my TRX4 because this one had broke, and she ran that one, and a couple of guys told me that she really dogged the heck out of it on these rocks, and it survived through the whole thing. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you that TRX4 isn't better than GEN7. Well, I would have to say it is a little tougher, just because Traxxas Technologies, I mean, they really build things to last as much as they can. I mean, granted, parts are going to break. It's just not like it's not going to happen. But Traxxas does tend to, want to keep things more you know, better quality. And that's the reason why you're going to spend between $425 to $450 for the TRX4. Granted, now you're talking about a Gen 7 that was $200, unless you wanted internal fender wells in the roof rack. Then of course it's like 70, 80 bucks more. But anyway, regardless, same truck, same chassis, just different features of the body. Now, this body here I actually dismantled, and this body is no longer on this truck. And I did something up for my daughter. I gave her a pretty body, and this is what it goes on here now. Funny part about the whole thing is that I'm still running plastic drive shafts. I mean, still running plastic drive shafts, still running stock motor, still running stock ESC. The only thing I did was upgrade the transmission to an all-metal gear, and that's what happened. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know about this, and just caution you that if you decide to get yourself a Gen 7, try not to run a 3S in it, unless you're planning on fixing it a lot. But, I mean, again, I think it's still a great truck for the price. I mean, I'm sorry, 200 bucks. I mean, I've seen junk for 200 bucks. I would say that Red Cat has really gone way beyond Call of Duty on trying to really get this to be a really awesome truck. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's got a nice chassis. It's got pretty decent stuff. I mean, Hexfly, which is Red Cat's branding, that's technically an AE5 that Axle has, which from what I understand is a hobby wing. So, not really a bad part. I'm sure the motor is probably generic-y, you know, who the heck knows, but it runs, it hasn't burnt out yet. Got servo here. Still running that. It's all metal gear, but it's about as good as Traxxas TRX4 servo. You know, it's weak. It doesn't handle the turns like it could. I mean, so it's not a real expensive part. But then again, what do you expect for a $200 truck? I got to see some guys out there with the Gen 7 and done some amazing upgrades on some of those things. I mean, I was like, I said, is that a Gen 7? And the guy's like, yeah. I'm like, wow. You know, so, you know, it's still a very doable rig for your low budget people who want to buy something brand new. You know, because I mean, you're going to spend with the axles, you know, between $380 to $400 depending on which one you buy. You know, with that, I mean, it's all what you want to spend. And just to let you know, there's only one metal gear in the SCX10s, the original SCX10, and the rest are plastic. Same thing with the ready-to-run SCX10 too. The only one you're going to get all metal in it is if you buy the kit version where you're going to put together. Now this one, the red one behind me, is not a kit version, but I did put the kit transmission in it, which I know already has metal gears and it's low profile, and I like that. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that, you know, the Gen 7 is not a bad rig. I don't plan on getting rid of it. I think it's a challenge to me personally to make it bulletproof, and so as I can find the parts to make it bulletproof, I'm going to. But the one thing I'm not going to do is run a 3S into it for right now, just because I don't want to snap the rear axles again. So until I find some really good rear axles for it that are not Red Cat and that are made specifically for, you know, like a tougher material, then that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is, once I get the new axles, I'm going to take it apart and see what it is, see what it looks like, see what the brake looks like, and then we'll put it together. I add some better grease into it, and we'll see how that looks. So anyway, there will be a second video on the Gen 7, repairing it, and for you guys that do own a Gen 7, don't get all pouty. It's still a good truck. Just don't run a 3S in it and you'll be fine. But as all crawlers, all things do break. I mean, I'm sorry, they do. Now, this thing back here has had so many upgrades to it that I was very happy. I didn't have a breakdown. Now look at that, plastic drive shafts. But I had not one breakdown on the trail with this. That's because I've had this thing for over a year and I have been working on it, and I've gotten key parts in it that I like. This one here, it's just a rebuild. I decided I had another SCX10 that I had on my shelf, and I ended up giving that to my grandson in Maryland, and he's playing with that. But this one here, the transmission originally was in that one I put in here, so I got an all-metal transmission. I went ahead and put all-metal drive shafts in it. So it's got sliders. Yeah, I cheated. These are the tires off the Gen 7. But until I get some better tires, because this is what it came with, and these are actually the stock tires of an SCX10 too, and I wasn't too happy with them. But anyway, but that's the truck. It's already got the battery mod and so forth. But this is it, you know. So this is SCX10 too. There's your Gen 7. I mean, they're all featured pretty much the same. And what's really funny is a lot of stuff that's copied off of this, as well as the TRX4, came from the mothership. So, the SCX10. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So I don't know if you have any questions. Feel free to, you know, add in a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I just think that, again, I think the Gen 7 is a really good truck for the price. I would never knock it. Personally, I kind of like the idea of it in one hand, because being that you're going to spend $200 cheaper for this, that gives you a chance to buy upgraded parts. Versus the SCX10, I think the base one is like $380-ish. But you still got plastic gears and so forth. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, it is what it is. But you still have to upgrade all these things if you want it to be more bulletproof. So now you start off with a brand new platform and move on. I do tell a lot of guys out there that just keep checking group pages and stuff, because sometimes people will sell the old ones. And you can buy an old one for, you know, maybe $200, get a slider or whatever, and then get your own transmission, your own, you know, parts that you want. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And I just want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you're a subscriber, I appreciate it. And just remember, have fun with RCs. Have a good one.